Hello and welcome in this video in which we will discover the best techniques to learn faster. The world is changing more and more nowadays. Learning faster has become a necessity to be on the same page as this evolution. In addition to classical learning, there is a new technique to learn better and faster by stimulating the brain in a particular way. Your brain can perform extremely varied tasks and impressively increase its retention capacity if you take good care of it and of yourself. Even though it is true that some people naturally have an impressive memory, anybody can develop its memory impressively thanks to some tips. Your brain is similar to a muscle and can adapt and develop itself through specific exercises. Stay tuned until the end of the video because we will reveal the best tips to help you strengthen your memory and boost your ability to remember better and therefore learn faster. Learning will hold no secrets for you. You will increase your IQ in a very short time and in an efficient way. Just before, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to download your free book to change your life by clicking on the link in the description below the video. Prepare for learning. You have to be in a certain mood to learn well. Taking care of yourself is essential if you want to have better results. Learning is an art whose techniques are simple to implement but difficult to respect, so a minimum of discipline is required to achieve it and obtain good results. As in any methodology, there are some rules to respect. You have to know how to balance things out in order to be able to learn quicker. Here are some actions to take to be prepared to remember what you learn. Get enough sleep. During sleep, the brain is cleansed of toxins thanks to a fluid created especially for this purpose. In this way, knowledge is stabilized and stored permanently. Therefore, insomnia is counterproductive. Eat a balanced diet. You can't reason with a starving man. Try not to forget this saying. Nutrition is an essential part of your learning. Eat properly during your 3 meals of the day and your intellectual capacities will get better. Eating dried or fresh fruit will prevent you from digesting too much and therefore from a loss of energy in case of extended intellectual exercises. You must also think about hydrating yourself. Your body and your brain need water to function better. Dehydration will actually decrease your level of concentration. It can even be dangerous by causing more or less violent headaches and thus curbing assimilation. Exercising. Practicing a regular and moderate physical activity is advisable, good for health and good for the body, and is a good stimulant for your brain. Experiments have shown that we learn faster after having practiced a physical activity not so intense. These basic elements are prerequisites that should not be neglected, but they are not enough to complete successfully your goal. Strategies and methodology. Learning by definition is a complex process, so you should not be afraid to make mistakes and experiment. Make a list of methods that might work well for you, try different ways of learning, and then choose the method that suits you the best. Learning must be seen as an experience, so in order to carry it out well, it requires a plan, an implementation procedure, and at least one way to evaluate the results. Learning faster must follow the same logic with the same rigor, but mostly adopt a method that enables you to follow and evaluate your progress. Here are some ideas to consider. To know how to train your brain to learn, you must be motivated. It is the best stimulant for your brain. Set a goal and provide yourself with the means to achieve it. Concentration is the key to work better, memorize, and study easily. Developing your concentration is essential for rapid progress, since your learning is strongly linked to the development of your ability to concentrate. Performing complex tasks during a specific execution time will help you boost your concentration and enable you to learn quicker. Set a goal that will lead you to learn more and faster. Learn to stay focused all the time in any circumstances. Depending on what you want to learn, you have to find the style that suits you the best. Knowing your particularities is an essential asset to learn well. Your memory can be visual, i.e. if your brain records drawings and graphs quicker. So in this case, transform your knowledge into curves or maps as much as possible. Instead, you can have an auditory memory, i.e. you can easily remember the voice, so find a way to record all or part of your lessons. Depending on the subject you have to learn, you must be able to adapt your way of learning. Your auditory memory is more useful for abstract subjects, such as philosophy and history, and your visual memory is useful for geography and mathematics. To revise effectively, you have to work regularly. It always pays off. You must develop mental maps, especially for those who have a visual memory. Do graphical representations by establishing links between them. During its development and memorization, this map structures thought and disciplines your mind. You will be able to memorize and deepen your knowledge quickly, while increasing your long-term retention and thus learn quicker. You should know that it is not because you have failed a test once that you do not know anything. It is important to note that knowing is not enough to get the know-how. It is an art that requires experience and tact, which can fortunately be learned too. That is why you must use the strategy that stimulates your professional environment the best. The most common trick is to try to recreate your professional environment and the professional atmosphere that prevails there. You are thus psychologically perfecting and improving your knowledge and gradually transforming it into know-how. Most of the time, despite your knowledge, your state of mind can slow you down when you want to put your know-how into practice. You have to trust yourself or at least rely on your abilities to solve your problems. You will be surprised by the results. Despite all these learning tips, concerns can arise during learning. Learning problems. If you have troubles concentrating for a long time, or if you notice that your brain retains very few even after hours of work and after trying different methods, you should possibly consider the possibility that you may have a learning disability. The people who suffer from it are not stupid, far from it. They simply have to learn differently, but they do not always realize it. Nowadays, thanks to science, these learning disabilities are well identified. We can mention, among others, dyslexia, which is a specific reading disorder. If you suffer from it, you will have difficulty reading. Everything you read will make no sense to you, so it will be difficult for you to learn quicker. Dysgraphia and Dyscalculia are quite similar to dyslexia, but affect writing and arithmetic respectively. If you are able to talk about a subject but have great difficulty doing the same thing in writing, you may have dysgraphia. However, if you confuse the numbers, fail to memorize them, or to assimilate digital learning, you may have dyscalculia. Some people have central hearing impairments. They hear sounds well but do not analyze them adequately. It's a kind of deafness, except that there's no problem with audition. Some disorders manifest themselves as an inability to concentrate when there is a noisy background. In this case, you must be diagnosed with the disease and find appropriate measures to help you overcome it and learn quicker. Once these difficulties are targeted and treatment is applied, learning can begin again. Tips for a successful learning. There are dozens of ways to learn, even though most people often use only one or two methods. Vary your ways of learning and adopt the ones you think are the most effective, the ones that will enable you to learn faster. It should be noted that there is no clear definition of good learning or ideal learning technique. The best methodology depends on your skills and ability to make good use of it. Learning is one thing, knowing how to use your knowledge is another. Don't hesitate to take every opportunity to use your knowledge. However, to learn quickly and effectively, you need to know and above all adopt strategies that enable your brain to function in the most optimal way possible. Changes are made faster and faster. You need to be able to adapt and learn faster than average. Getting enough sleep, eating healthy foods, drinking enough, and regularly water and exercising in a moderate way are essential for a quick learning. Then, you must stimulate your brain and stay focused in any circumstances during your learning. Choose the most optimal learning strategy by taking into account your abilities and the constraints of your context. If you like this video, please like, share, comment, and especially subscribe to the channel. You are also free to receive the new book, 7 Secrets to Change Your Life Now, by clicking on the link in the description below the video.